Hello, ladies. Happy Tuesday. All right. Today we are doing a little bit of a different direction for today's live. This is not going to be so much like storytelling. Oh, I'm going to start with the story. Let's get serious. But this is more about things to look for, signs and symptoms to generally look for if you think you are having some issues. Maybe you're like, is something wrong with my gut? Or like, are my hormones weird? I hear people talk about this stuff all the time on Instagram. Are my hormones an issue? Like, I kind of just want to be really transparent on like things to actually look for if someone who's like in the industry doing this with her clients. Some of my clients are very involved gut and hormone cases, and some of my clients are simply not formal gut and hormone cases. So kind of how to like sift through like, is something wrong? So I'm just going to lead with this. I was that girl who this was, I think this was before physical therapy school. I was that girl. Like, I went to my doctor, like, marched my little plump self on, and I was like, I have a hormone issue. It's my thyroid. I know it is, because nothing had ever worked for me. I was having trouble losing weight. Having trouble losing weight is technically something that can be associated with a hormone dysfunction, especially thyroid. And I was like, that's it. I need you to do the test to verify, to tell me that it's a thyroid thing, because that's why I'm not losing weight. I solved the puzzle. And she was like, there's nothing wrong with your thyroid. I'm like, we're going to run the test, because like there's definitely something wrong with my thyroid. Like, we're definitely going to run the test. And then she like ran like the very, very basic test and was like, see, there's actually nothing wrong with your thyroid. I'm like, okay, well, before I knew what I know now, and like there's much more in-depth things. Like, she was totally right. It's like, all right. She was like, have you ever worked with a professional? No. Have you ever worked like with a trainer, even like not about nutrition, just training? No. Have you ever actually done it seriously other than just by yourself? Because for a while, for like the most of my life, why I was struggling with my weight, it was like, okay, I knew that I should eat less and I should work out more. Yay. So I'm going to do that. And then it didn't work. So then I just kept doing it, and then it still didn't work. And then I'd get really hungry, so I'd eat a lot and think, okay, no, I just need to do it longer. So I'm just going to eat less again, like eat like really light, like always fish and like the asparagus. Got it. Still didn't work. Must be my thyroid. No, I really just had never actually worked with a professional who made something for me. It was always a guess. I had no idea how much I should be eating or how much I needed to be eating or how to balance. I had no fucking clue. I like Googled some stuff and I was like, I can totally do this by myself. Not exactly how it works. So just because you are having trouble losing weight, I'm just going to put it out there, does not necessarily mean that you have a thyroid issue or a sex hormone issue. Just because you're having trouble in that department doesn't automatically mean that there's something else going on that you get to blame, and that's the reason why you've never had a successful diet. Like, I'm sorry, it really just doesn't work like that. I tried. I really did. I tried to go down that road because I wanted a reason. I wanted a thing on a paper in a lab to blame, like, that's the problem. It was not the problem. I was the problem. It was me and my habits and my lifestyle and my choices and my like allegiance to my story that nothing worked for me and I could do it all by myself until I relinquished control that clearly doing it all by myself was not working. And I decided that I no longer wanted to attach myself to the story that nothing worked for me. That's what worked for me. I'm currently in a hormone journey. If you missed that, go ahead and watch my last live from last week. That's a different story for a different time relating to a hormonal contraceptive. But what I want to go through today is like things to kind of look out for, just to kind of be like, maybe things are not normal. So let's first start with gut. If your gut is pretty shitty, pun kind of intended, because gut, pooping, get it? A lot of other things can kind of cascade from that. So a lot of people understand, like, I have a lot of bloating. I must have a gut issue. Like, bloating and gas are like really common things people talk about, and excessive bloating and gas is not normal and could be indicative of an issue. But what you need to start doing is pay a little bit more attention. Like, let's say bloating, for example. When? Is it all the time? That would be weird. Okay, so is it right, like when you're eating, kind of like right after you eat? Is that like right when you get bloating? There may be some digestive issues that you're having. Is it a few hours after you eat? It might not be a digestive enzyme thing. It could necessarily be like a pancreatic enzyme thing. Like, depending on when and where and the severity matters. So start paying attention. Like, gas and bloating, on occasion, it's just going to happen. We don't want to just perseverate and like really just stick on like one occasion. If it's a reoccurring thing, start to pay attention, start to figure it out, start to track your habits, look at your poop. I am not kidding. If you are literally pooping out food, like recognizable food, undigested food is there, that is not normal. I'm not talking about corn. There are some things that your body cannot break down and it kind of looks the same coming out as it did going in. It's like, ooh. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you are looking at something you ate and it looks similar to when you ate it, that's not normal. Undigested food, not necessarily a great thing, my friend. I'm just going to be super honest about it. So what can you do? Chew your food a little bit more thoroughly. We're going to go over some like lifestyle habits, some things that you can do right away in a minute. But also, we're talking about pooping, so let's just go there. If your stools are super loose all the time, also not normal. Or let's just use corn. We're going there. Let's say you have corn and then all of a sudden you see corn coming out the other end in like under an hour. That's really fast transit time. Too fast, especially if it's loose stool. There's a very good chance that you are not even absorbing a lot of the nutrients that you're eating if it is shooting through you that fast. On the opposite end, if you eat something, let's stick with corn, and then you see it like 5 days later, you're like, that's where you were. Been a minute. Like, that might be too slow. If something is hanging out in your body, just like chilling for a while, it might just ferment and cause more gas and discomfort. So things like that are not normal. So just start paying attention to your body. And like constant heartburn, not normal. Constipation, also not normal. Normal, adequate bowel motility. We want like at least like we want a like solid, healthy, productive movement once a day. Those of you who are like maybe get a decent one like once a week, no, that's not normal. No. So that could be indicative of gut stuff going on. So what is the first thing that you can do? You don't need to run out and get like food allergy tested and stool samples and all these things. Like we go there, we can go there, all those types of things, but no matter what, even if you go there and things come back, some simple things that you can do are eat in a relaxed state. Your digestion happens in a parasympathetic state. It's like you're like you rest and you digest and you're like cool, calm and collected. It's cool. If you eat like you just lit your hair on fire, like the whole day, your body can't actually digest your food very well. So even if you get like all the tests, everything done, and you have like a reason, you have a list of all the things going on, and it's why you can't lose weight, or it's why you feel like a total pile of shit, pun kind of intended, all the time, you have to take some lifestyle adjustments. You have to take some personal responsibility because you can't supplement or medicate your way out of these situations without adapting some different habits. You know, getting away from highly processed foods, even the protein bars, those can be bad for you sometimes. If your gut's like a tank and you have none of the issues, you do you, totally fine. Normally my gut's like a total tank, not an issue. Sometimes I eat something, I'm like, well, that's funny. And then it makes me just kind of look a little bit deeper and ask some questions. But lifestyle and stress management are a big deal. Eating in a relaxed state, I'm not kidding, calm the hell down. Eating in a relaxed state, not drinking water within even like 30 minutes of mealtime, and chewing your food more thoroughly than you're used to, those three things alone can completely change your digestive health and maybe all you need to do. You might just need to calm the hell down when you're eating and give your body a chance to actually digest. So those are some things that you may see. That's not a comprehensive list, but some things that you can commonly see with those struggling with digestive issues. If it seems weird, it might be weird. So just start paying attention to when you're feeling symptoms, what symptoms you're having. Is it related to a food? That's the best thing you can do, is pay attention. Just think, if you are not pooping regularly and you're always bloated and you're uncomfortable and you hire a weight loss coach and they give you a random diet and you're not losing weight, no shit. No shit. Oh, good. This is just too easy. These puns are fantastic. I hope you're enjoying. But you can't necessarily lose weight from an unhealthy body. If there's other things going on, your body's going to always fight you on a weight loss journey, on health, on fitness, on muscle development. You can't expect to feel like garbage, hire someone to lose weight, and then it go like super well. It just doesn't really work like that. You have to go health first. That's why you have to ask a lot of questions as a coach. Otherwise, you just have no idea what you're doing and you really can't help anyone if there's something else going on. If there's nothing else going on, awesome, easy, let's rock. Those are cake. When it doesn't make sense on paper, that's when you start asking questions. So let's kind of go into more like thyroid-y stuff. Like, okay, Thyroid's like a big buzzword now. Everybody wants hypothyroidism because that means you're having trouble losing weight and you just need a magic thyroid medication and you get to lose weight, and it was really never your fault. Sorry, it doesn't really work like that. Again, remember back to the story I opened with, I tried. But thyroid issues they're not something you actually want to have, but they can be managed with lifestyle and diet depending on their presentation, or they may need medication. And it may take a few different trials on different medications and dosages to find the best one for you. So I'm not going to go specific into like hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. I'm not going to go into like really specifics on sex hormones, on like estrogen dominance, low progesterone, weird testosterone, too high, too low. These are just really vague concepts that I want you guys to be aware of, to think, I wonder if there is something going on. Maybe you have a really slow heart rate, like oddly low, and it doesn't make sense. Like I have a very low heart rate. I'm also in very good shape. It makes sense. If you are a total couch potato and you have a really slow heart rate, that's kind of odd. Or maybe your heart is always racing. It kind of feels like you always just took a nice big glass of lightning and you're like, all the time. That's probably not the best sign. If you are always freezing. This is barring those of you who are like super lean. Those of you with like insane striations. You got the abs, you got the you got the lines, you got the look that everybody wants on Instagram. You've seen pictures of me. I've spent my fair share of time there before. It's sometimes not fun because you're so fucking cold, because you have no body fat. So this is barring that. Like if you have some cushion for the push-in and you're still always cold, maybe. If you have really weird periods, it's irregular, sporadic, this is also barring. There's been some weird things that have happened with the pandemic and things like that are associated with the female reproductive system. There's other things going on. I'm not going down that rabbit hole today by any means. But odd menstruation, like unexplained fatigue, brittle hair and nails is a big one. Like all us ladies love, like everyone loves like the biotin, like the hair, skin, and nail supplement. You know, you want the hair, you want the pretty skin, you want the nails, and you're just, all of it's dull all the time and it just looks bad and it's brittle and it's gross. So you need a supplement for that. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's a reason why your hair, skin, and nails are shitty. And instead of taking a supplement to put a Band-Aid on it, maybe you'd be like, why does my hair always break? Why do my nails always break? Maybe that's not normal for you. Could be worth looking into. Maybe you're having a lot of trouble sleeping and can't really know why. Maybe you don't really have issues with constipation, but you never pass anything solid. It's just kind of liquid lava at that point. Like that's also not normal. I talked about brittle hair. What if it's falling out? Also not really normal. If you're losing hair in chunks, again, this is barring like in maybe insane stress. Like if your work environment is like wildly oppressive, you may lose your hair, things in that condition, but that can also be a side effect of hormone dysregulation because severe stress can cause that type of cascade. Let's talk a little bit about sex hormones now that we're talking about hair. Irregular hair growth. I mean, no ladies really want to have like a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm just saying, like most. No judgment if you do, like again, you do you, sister, totally fine. But if you're having hair pop up in areas where you're like, what you doing there? Give me the tweezers, or like, waxer calling right now. Like that's kind of odd. Or if your periods are so bad as far as like really heavy, your PMS symptoms are insane, your bloating is insane, your cramps are awful, back pain like debilitating, not so normal. It should not be like the world is ending every time you have a cycle. It really shouldn't be. Or if you don't have a cycle, and you should, like if you don't have a cycle but you've also had some procedures to make sure that you don't have a cycle, or you're on a contraceptive that makes sure you don't have a cycle, that's not what we're talking about right now. But if you are not on a contraceptive, you are a like fertile age and you should be having a cycle and it's just ghosting and you're not pregnant, is that normal? Nope, not necessarily. Worth looking into. What if you were just tired all the time? Or maybe you just cannot recover from exercise. You have really poor exercise recoverability. Like you hit the gym and you used to bounce back like no problem. Like, all right, it was great, had a great workout, ready to just like go out, go shopping, all things. And now you work out and you're like, I am dead. Oh my God, my toes are sore. Like that's also not normal. Like unexplained headaches, that can be hormonal, or you just might have the worst posture in the world. So just pay attention to the things that you're experiencing. And if you can't make sense of it, it's worth looking into. What if you have a really low libido? Ladies, I'm talking to you. Not normal. You don't have to be some like sex maniac by any means. Like, do whatever you are comfortable with. But if you just never want to get down, and maybe you're in a relationship that like you kind of like, you wish you wanted to, but you just don't have that urge, and it's like, where'd you go? I missed you. You were fun. Haven't seen you in a while. Not normal. We should be down to hang, at least on occasion. Like, come on. Like, low libido, not that great. If you're like lifting weights, or you're just cannot keep weight on and like losing body mass. I know every girl who's overweight's like dream, but if you're like losing body mass, not normal. If you have like really oily skin, acne, there may be something going on with your hormones. So a lot of these are not to scare you. This is not a laundry list of like, danger, danger, run to your doctor. It's like, that's not what this is. But if you're like, damn, like, I have no libido. I have no energy. My periods are irregular. I feel bloated all the time. I have poor bowel motility. And you want to lose weight? You have to actually address all the aforementioned things first before you can lose weight. Your body is not going to lose weight from a really unhealthy state. Think of it, I used this analogy the other day with a client, and I was like, do you ever just like say something and it pops out of your mouth and you're like, that was gold? That happened to me. I was actually really excited about this analogy. So we're in a hormone case with this one. It's diagnosed. We knew it going in. Well, we knew some of it going in. We've uncovered a little bit more that was not as forthcoming. But anyway, she's like, I just want to lose the weight. I understand the hormone stuff, but like, I just want to lose the weight. I was like, they're not separate at this point. They're really just meshed together. And if there is an underlying hormonal issue, an underlying gut issue, it's like, let's say that's like your house. If your house is on fire, you can't remodel your kitchen. You can't just lose the weight and get this like banging physique because you want to feel like super comfortable in your body and get like really skinny and rock the bathing suit and all your jeans fit and like, oh my God, we can't do that. I get it. I'm not trying to make fun of that. I like to just kind of joke around for you guys, but like, I understand the value in having physique goals related to vanity. That's okay if you want to look a certain way. You're not going to hear any judgment from me. That's why I did it the first time. I was like, I don't like how I look. I would like to like how I look. So let's do this shit. So I did. But you can't look like that. You can't get the body you're going for if your hormones are literally creating a fire on the inside. Again, it's like trying to remodel your kitchen if your house is on fire. Is it going to work? You're going to waste a lot of money in the process and you're going to be really unhappy with the results. You need to put out the damn fire, create a nice stable foundation, then you can remodel at your leisure. That's what I want to take away from this. If you don't feel healthy, if things just don't feel normal in a bunch of different ways, ask questions. The best thing that you can do is start paying attention so that when you do start asking questions, whether you work with a coach like me, shameless plug, or another coach, there's a ton of amazing coaches who really occupy this type of space of like functional, that's embarrassing, functional nutrition and, habit formation and lifestyle development. Go and saying like, these are really interesting things I've been noticing, not like my digestion's weird. Tell me more. I don't know. It's just weird. That tells us nothing. So start paying attention. If you're going to work with like a coach, you're hiring one off, or if you want to take this to a healthcare provider, bring them some good information so you've been paying attention. And some of the best things that you can do are literally related to stress management and eating high quality foods. You don't need to go out and go like organic, vegan, all the things. Just like get some produce in your diet, get some of the processed stuff out of your diet, eat in a relaxed state, chew your food thoroughly, get some sleep, and a lot of the issues that you're having usually kind of improve. I'm not even remotely kidding. Even if you have a diagnosis or get a diagnosis that's related to a gut dysbiosis or a hormone issue, you can't out-supplement or out-medicate stupid lifestyle choices. It just doesn't work like that. You have to actually put in the effort. So might as well start putting in the effort now. Eat well, manage your stress. Those things really do matter. And trust me, you definitely cannot out-diet or out-train your hormones. It's not like, I'll just get there first, I'll lose the weight, and then I'll like restore my hormones. I wish, everybody's dream would be if it was like that. That'd be so great. It just doesn't. Your hormones will catch you and make your life a living hell if they're already trashed. Dieting makes it worse. Going into a low-calorie diet or even just training, exercise, is a stressor on your system. You can use that stressor on your system strategically to get physique result. To lose weight, some people don't need to lose weight for vanity. They need to lose it for serious health reasons. And it can be a really, really great thing. But if part of the reason your hormones are off or your gut is trash is because your hair is on fire, because your stress is out of control, the last thing your hormones are going to respond favorably to is a really aggressive diet strategy. If that's why they're like going crazy in the first place, is because of the level of stress. So it's very hard as a woman to step back and see yourself objectively in this way. Because, I mean, as a coach, I've done this for years. I have a lot of client success stories. My clients are the bomb. I'm good at what I do. I know how to do this shit. I have a coach. Most coaches have coaches because even those of us who know what we're doing, we are so emotionally tied to our own results that we can't see ourselves objectively. It's like this like haze that's like full of emotions, and that makes our decisions not the best place to get serious results from. So it's really, really beneficial to have an external set of eyes on you if you just are having trouble making good decisions when it comes to yourself because you're so emotionally invested in the outcome. Having an objective party is a godsend, especially if you're a little bit moody, a little bit irritable, sleep's been really bad, and you have like no energy because your hormones aren't doing very well. Like, you probably need a lifeline to help offload the stress and like get that actually solved. So again, just because you are having trouble losing weight does not mean you have a hormone issue. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Most of you, it means you just haven't actually done the right thing for you. You haven't actually committed to a diet. You haven't actually hired someone who made a program for you. You jump from class to class or free program to shred to group this, and nothing ever works for you. You've never had anyone look you in the eye and say, tell me what's going on. I made this program for you. That is a big deal. So you should try that before you think it's a hormone thing. But if a lot of what I said you're experiencing, you may have a hormone thing or a gut thing. And it's worth looking into. This is not diagnostic. I'm not trying to be your healthcare provider. I'm just trying to make you a bit more of an informed consumer, So if you have everything that I just said, you're like, oh shit, do you feel personally attacked right now? Maybe. Then maybe you shouldn't join the next challenge, shred, hit class, combat, booty pump, whatever, hoping that that's it, that's going to get that weight off. Because in reality, it's probably going to take you further away from where you want to be. So if you guys have any questions, you should probably start dropping them in now because I'm officially running out of things to say. But I'm really glad you guys joined me. I know some of these talks aren't really fun to have, but you need to know. You need to be educated. So you might have something going on. You might not. Just start paying attention to your body's biofeedback. What is your body telling you? And it's our job to listen. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you came halfway through, feel free to go. Obviously, I'll save this. Go ahead and watch all the way from the beginning. If you guys have any questions later, go ahead and drop them in the comment section or shoot me a DM. And I hope you're having a good day.